and welcome back to the Geek and Bee. My name is Bianca, the Bee in the Geek and Bee. Welcome back to my channel. And here on this channel, I like to always say you should always celebrate your geekiness. There is nothing wrong with being weird, geeky, or dorky, and you should not let anyone tell you otherwise, okay? So, this video is a simple video, at least in my opinion. I am going to be talking about my tattoos. So, I'm not sure if most are aware or have been able to see, I do have a couple tattoos. And I just wanted to let you guys know them and talk about them and whatnot in case anyone was interested or wondering about them, okay? So, officially, I have 4 tattoos. I'm planning on getting more, and I'll talk about a little bit what those are I'm thinking about doing. So, I'll start with the very first one. So, I grew up always wanting to get a tattoo. My father has a bunch, and I grew up with him getting them and just having them, period. So there's always been something I was interested in. So when I turned 18, of course, my dad took me to get my first tattoo, which was this one. I'll pop a photo here. This one is obviously the Triquetra, and I got it for Charmed. I'm a huge fan of Charmed. I have a whole playlist. You guys should check it out of the different things, videos I've done for Charmed, and I'm planning on doing more. And I had to get it because it was always a huge love of mine. And most of my tattoos are kind of geeky anyway. So I have that, and then there was an image I found with the design around it. It was a little bit different. Tattoo artist I go to is called Base. He has a tattoo shop in the Bronx called BXclusive. I'll put all his information down below. He is actually my aunt's brother, which is how I know him, and he's done all of my tattoos. He's someone I know that I can go to and do great work, and then also adds to it. So a lot of the stuff, like the cherry blossoms on here, originally some of the flower themes was a little different. The color that I was wanting to get was like brownish, but because of my skin tone, it wouldn't have worked. So he actually worked his magic, and he went and added cherry blossoms and other flowers and whatnot too, which he's done to pretty much all my tattoos. Add a little extra to it to make it look even better than it is. Okay, so I got that one when I turned 18, and it's not bad. I'm pretty fine with tattoos. They don't really hurt me as much. This one, the only thing that bothered me was all the curves in the tattoo. That one hurt, like it hurt the most compared to the rest, weirdly enough. But either way, it came out great, and I loved it. And if you guys are interested in getting a tattoo, think wide of it. This is something that's permanently going onto your body, that the needle's going into your skin, that would permanently be. The only way to remove it is to get, I think, a laser surgery to remove it, and that hurts, and it's also expensive. So if you guys want a tattoo, if you ever want to get one, make sure you do your research first. Make sure you really, really, really want to get this item. Make sure you go to someone that you know or that you've seen that does good work. Look up the artist to make sure the things they've done in the past are good work, so that way you don't go to someone that just completely messes it up, and now you're stuck with this item on you, paying for it when it's completely horrible, okay? So make sure it's something you really, really want, and make sure you look up the person and do your research beforehand, okay? So that is my first one. My second one is this one, which is a moon and a star. So I grew up always loving the moon and always feeling like I have some type of affinity with it, and I always found it to be beautiful and love it. Weirdly enough, I found out recently that the day I was born, I was actually born on a full moon, which is the coolest thing ever, which is, I feel like, why I've always had a connection to it. And when I was growing up, I've always loved that image of just the moon and the star. The image itself is something I've always loved, and I used to, like, in school, draw it on my hand right here to get it, and I've always debated on doing it. So I did my research looking up images and designs to see what to put together. So I did find one that was the moon, and then it also had the curves in it, and I picked the colors myself of what I wanted, which was purple and yellow. Which the yellow obviously is a hard thing to see considering my skin, but those are my 2 favorite colors, so I picked those. And then he added to it with the type of star and like the clouds and the little extra like stars around it, which I loved. Of course, he always hooks it up, which is great, and I'm so happy about it. So that was my second one. I got that maybe 2 years or so afterwards. Yeah, I think so. I don't remember the exact time. I think maybe like 2 years or a year or so afterwards. I like to go during the winter time to get my tattoos, because summertime you have to be very careful with it, only because there's care you have to do when getting one. You have to put like A&D ointment on it for like the first couple days and be careful so that it doesn't rub off. And then after that, you have to wash it every day to clean it out with. I use the original Dial non-scented liquid soap. You can use like bars, I guess, if you want. I do liquid because I find it to be easier. So you have to constantly clean it and take care of it, and then you also have to have lotion. So I think I use a Lubriderm, and I go and I have that, and you have to constantly, over time, you lotion it. It gets itchy because it's healing. It's almost like a scab a little bit, and it heals. So it'll go and it'll get itchy, which you cannot scratch it, and it'll start to peel, which is completely fine. It's what it's supposed to do. If it does that, you just put some more lotion on it. But the one thing is, one of the reasons why I do it in the winter time is because while it's healing, it can't be sitting out in the sun for long, because that can damage it with getting a sunburn. Or like this pool time, I like to enjoy my summer, go to the pool and hang out and do things, and it's not always the easiest when you have a tattoo. It can't touch the chlorine. It can't be in chlorine, so I wouldn't be able to go to like pools and stuff if I gotten it. When I first got my first one, that's one of the reasons why I go to somebody, learn my lesson. I didn't touch it, but I did hang out in pools and stuff. But I wrapped it. I would go and wrap it up in like aluminum foil, not aluminum foil, oh my god, in saran wrap, and like tape it up, and it was completely covered. I had to keep my hand up and out of the pool and make sure, so I couldn't like swim and really enjoy it, because my arm couldn't be inside, which really sucked. So I always go during the winter time, because you have all that time to, you don't have to worry about it. It won't really affect things. You just wrap it up like when you first get it, or the first day or so. So when you go out, like when you put your coat on, you wrap it a little, so that way nothing gets on it. But yeah, sorry. I always go off topic or something, or I change it a bit, so just pay mind. You should be used to it if you guys been watching. Alright, so that was my second one. My third one is one complete tattoo. Some people think it's two, or some people don't realize there's two parts, but it's actually one complete tattoo. So, but this is fairy wings and has like little pixie dust around it, and it's purple and pink. Love the colors. This was actually a Photoshop brush that I've used in the past, and I've always just loved it, so I went and got that done. And then I got a quote, which was my most important thing. So it says, "I will always remember who I am, so your approval is not needed." So if you guys are all aware, and hopefully nothing too bad, but being geeky, and it's weird to most people, and it's not something most people are comfortable with sometimes, or used to, because you find a passion for something that you really love, and you show it, and you're always excited about it or super happy about it. You do things that has to do with it, or you wear clothes or anything that has to do with it, and people find that to be weird. And I've always had this thing where I've always been weird, and I took a while to really accept it and be okay with that fact, which one of the reasons why I've done this channel, because I want to help people and let them understand there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's who you are. Being normal is vastly overrated, and you should just be proud and happy with who you are. Don't let what anyone else says or the looks they give you make you feel bad about yourself because of it. So this is actually a combination of two quotes. So one of them is "Remember who you are" from Lion King, which I've always loved. And the other one is "I am who I am, so your approval is not needed." So I wanted to combine the both, because I love them both. So I did. I combined them with that. "I will always remember who I am, so your approval is not needed." Meaning, I know who I am. I will always remember, so I don't need your approval of who I am at all. I don't care what you think about me. I know who I am, and I will continue to be that person no matter what, okay? And hopefully that helps you guys, and hopefully you guys will, if you're not comfortable with it, will eventually learn to feel that way too. I know it does get hard, but just remember, it's you. You should always be you no matter what. It doesn't matter what anyone else has to say, okay? Ooh, feeling emotional now. Sorry. Alright, and now my last one. I can't really show you. But my last one's on my back, and it's for one of my loves, Harry Potter. Okay, so you guys know I love Harry Potter. I'm a huge fan, and I wanted to get something for it. So years ago, when I first got it, I think I got this like three 3 years ago maybe. It's been a while since I've gotten a new tattoo, truthfully. And I wanted something Harry Potter, and I've always loved the quote always, because not only is it just a famous quote, it's also like me. I will always love Harry Potter. I would always to me it stands for other things. Like I'll always have a love for Harry Potter, always have a always be myself. Oh, just always. I always loved it always. So I got that done in about a font, and then I got the Deathly Hollows, which is a huge symbol that you guys should, most people automatically recognize as being Harry Potter. So that one, the design itself, actually found really enough on a image of a coaster online. I don't exactly remember where. Somehow, I think maybe on Facebook or something, or some site. I always search for new things every day. So I found there was a coaster that had this design of the Deathly Hallows on it, and it was so beautiful, and I loved it. So I'm like, that is the one I'm gonna get, because I don't want to get the normal one because everyone else has it. I'm the type of person who doesn't want to get exactly what everyone else has. I want it to be my own and unique. So that's what I did with that one. I got that. So I got Deathly Hollows and Always. That one though hurt like a mother trucker. Is all I have to say. So all these right here and this, they didn't hurt that bad. I literally just sit there most of the time and just sit there. Let them do the work. Curves bother me. It's fine. That one, my back, I've never gotten anything on my back, so that was so painful. Is all I have to say. Okay, because of the fact that it's on my back, it's not here. I have a lot of fat on there, so it's not that much of a bother. I have a lot of, a lot of fat, so it takes a lot of cushion. My back, I don't really have that. So that one was actually was my most painful one. It wasn't like in dire pain. It was something I was able to deal with and sit there and do. Avoid, grimps and try to deal with it as best I can. And one thing you also have to do is you stay hydrated. So I made sure I had water with me to stay hydrated, and I ate beforehand. Because when you get your tattoo done, not only is it the constant pain, depending on your pain tolerance, but it's also if you have a low pain tolerance, just be aware it's gonna hurt. Me, I have a pretty high one. So that one, it's always best to make sure you eat and then have like a liquid with you or something to drink, because not only are you in pain because they're digging a bunch of needles into your body, it's also you bleed when you do it. You don't bleed much when they do the outlines. It's not that much, but when they color it in, there's more needles in the machine, so more happens. So you tend to bleed. So you're also losing blood as well. So it's always best to keep hydrated, so that way, you don't pass out. And if you do feel like you might, you let the artist know so they can stop. Or if it becomes too much, you let them know. Can you stop for a minute, so that way you can breathe and get a little situated. This one was a little hard. Afterwards, I think the worst is afterwards when they did it, because of the fact it is like a wound and it's healing, and it's also like in between my shoulder blades, which I have to constantly move, and I stretch back and all that stuff. So it was incredibly sore. First off, it was hard to clean. So I've had to have family members help me clean it, and eventually I learned a way. I have a back scratcher. It's a hand. I don't use it as back scratcher though, but it's a hand, so it has like a palm. And what I would do is to clean it, because you have to be innovative. I had no way to do. My arm doesn't fit that way. I would go and put like the soap on there, and then like normally I would clean in the shower, so it's the easiest. And then I would go use the scratcher, the palm of the back scratcher, and like rub it on to clean it, and then just wash it off. In the same way, when I had a lotion it, I would use it that way too, because it's like the only thing I had. But that was I was sore for days. I was so sore because it was like healing the position. I'm constantly moving it, and it was hard. Like moving around was like the most difficult, because after like the first couple days it got sore, and I'm like, it was so painful to like put my shirt on and to move in certain ways that I could not wait until it was over. So that was like my most painful one, and it was like, oh, just because the soreness was so bad. You have no idea at all. Well, if you've gotten tattoos, then you know. But yeah, that was my last one. I have not gotten one in years. Truthfully, I get it when like if anyone who's gotten tattoos, they know what the itch is. So normally you get a tattoo when you feel the itch to get another one. It's it's like a feeling, the wanting of another one, and I love walking into the shop because it's the smell you recognize and everything like that. So I haven't gotten one in a while, and I haven't really had the itch in a very long time. So it's one of the reasons why I haven't gotten one so long. But there are a couple I want to get. So I know there's two. There's a quote that I put on my Instagram, and then it's a quote from Wreck-It Ralph, and I'm in love with it so much. Like I was watching it with my sister. It's been like years since I've seen it. So we're watching it, and I almost didn't even catch it, but I did. And he said, "There's no one I'd rather be than me," which spoke to me. And when I heard it, I'm like, I felt it inside. I'm like, it's so true. It takes a while for people to realize it, and he did. And it's something I know I am. I'd rather be no one else but myself, and I'm very happy with who I am, and I continue in certain ways, and if to fix it, but otherwise I know, and that is something I want to get. I don't know where. I've always been like getting on like my shoulder blade or something like that, somewhere where I can see. Most of my tattoos I like to get where I can see it. The only thing is there's so much space in my body that is visible that I can get it. So that one I'm debating on. I want to get, but I don't know when. I'm not really in the mood to get one right now, so I'll have to see. I've always wanted to continue with like a whole like kind of portrait theme, continue with the Harry Potter on my back, getting other things, which I don't know what yet. And recently I've been thinking, and what I want to do is get a golden snitch. I'm in love with golden snitch. I always loved it. Find it to be beautiful, and I have this ring of it that I love to death that I got from Primark, and it's so beautiful. And I've always debated on like maybe getting that, like getting a golden snitch on my finger somehow, or on my hand or something like that, so that way I can always see it. I just have to look at designs to find an exact design I want to get and see how that one goes. So that's only ones I'm really looking forward or thinking about doing for the future. So that's it. All right, those are my tattoos and a bit of a story behind it in case anyone is interested or will be interested. Like I mentioned before, only do it if you really want to. Make sure you do the research and you find the right place. Be aware, depending on your tolerance for pain, it can be painful, or also depending on the spot you get it, it can be incredibly painful. Especially like the ribs area. I know that one is incredibly painful from what I hear, so just be aware of that one in case you want to be like all cute and get one. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know below. I'll put the tattoo artist that I go to. I'll put his information down below in case you're interested. He does awesome stuff. He's done my father. He does portraits, so he's done a portrait of my older sister for my father, and a couple other tattoos. And I took my younger sister to go to him when she went to get her first tattoo, which was nice. And yeah, in case you guys interested, I'll leave his information below. And a question, do you guys have any tattoos? If so, how many and what are they? Also, how do you feel about them? Okay? Or your experience or whatnot, alright? So, thank you guys so much again for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to continue watching my videos, subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of Harry Potter, and I do Charmed, and I'm going to work my way towards doing some more Disney. If there's anything you guys want to know about me, or certain questions or anything you might want me to do videos on, put them down below, and then after a while, if I'll do a video, and I'll do a get to know me video or something if you guys are interested in that one. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me. You should turn on your notifications so you'll be aware whenever I post a video, so you guys can be up to date. And yeah, that's it. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.